All right, today we're jumping into two of the most powerful and, let's be honest, most dangerous forces in crypto, leverage and liquidity. It's all about a high-stakes balancing act, and we're going to break down exactly how it works.
I mean, this is the hook, right? This is the dream that gets so many people excited about crypto trading in the first place. The idea that you could take a relatively small amount of money and turn it into an absolute fortune.
And you know what? In crypto, there's a tool that makes that dream feel, well, possible. But here's the catch. Using that tool is like stepping out onto a tightrope. Sure, the reward is way up high, but the drop below is massive.
So let's talk about the thing that gets you onto that tightrope. It's a concept called leverage.
The easiest way to think about it is it's borrowed power. Let's say you have $1,000. If you use 10x leverage, you're not trading with your 1,000 anymore. You're suddenly controlling $10,000. You're amplifying everything, your potential wins, and you guessed it, your potential losses. And this is the perfect way to picture it. Using, say, 100x leverage might feel like you're climbing to the moon, but it also means that tightrope gets thinner and thinner. The wind picks up. The smallest wobble, the tiniest mistake can send you into a freefall. So if leverage is the tightrope, what keeps it from just snapping? What gives it any stability at all? Well, that brings us to our next huge concept, liquidity. Think of liquidity as the depth of the water below your tightrope. It's the whole pool of buyers and sellers in the market. And that last part on the slide is absolutely crucial. Leverage is borrowed from this pool. You can only make these huge leveraged bets because the market itself is deep enough to handle them. Okay, look at this comparison because it says it all. A high liquidity market, that's a thick, sturdy rope with a big safety net underneath. You can make large moves without causing chaos. But a low liquidity market? Whoa. Now you're on a thin, wobbly wire with absolutely no safety net. Even a small trade can make the whole thing shake, and using high leverage becomes a massive gamble. So now we have to talk about what happens when you actually fall. In leverage trading, it's not just a loss. It has a much more final, much more brutal name, liquidation. See, when you open a leveraged trade, the exchange sets a point of no return for you. That is your liquidation price. It's not a warning, it's not a suggestion, it's an automated switch. If the price even grazes that number for a second, poof, your trade is gone. And you gotta understand, this isn't some person making a call. It's a machine. The exchange has something called a liquidation engine, and its only job is to automatically seize your position, force sell it, and get back the money you borrowed. It's cold, it's fast, and it's completely impersonal. This is where things get really scary. This is where your personal risk can suddenly become a problem for the entire market. I mean, your liquidation is a forced sale. So what happens if that sale is so big, it actually pushes the price down for everyone? Well, that's how you get a liquidation cascade. It is one of the most terrifying things to watch in crypto. It's a massive domino effect. One person falls off the tightrope, and they shake the rope so hard that suddenly everyone else starts losing their balance too. Here's exactly how that fire starts. It begins with one big trader getting liquidated. That creates a big forced sale, which pushes the market price down. But that new lower price might be just low enough to hit the next trader's liquidation price. So boom, they get liquidated. Their forced sale pushes the price down even more. And the cycle just feeds on itself, getting faster and faster, wiping out countless traders in just minutes. But look, getting liquidated isn't the only danger out there on the tightrope. There's this other, much sneakier risk that can trip you up before you even really get started. It's called slippage. So you see a price you like, you click buy at, say, $10,000. But by the time the system actually fills your order, the price you really got was $10,050. That $50 gap, that's slippage. And when the market is thin, this silent enemy can be absolutely brutal. So what causes slippage? A lack of market depth. Imagine the order book is like a ladder. A really deep market has rungs at every single cent. But a thin market, it's got huge gaps between the rungs. So when you place a big order, you can slip right through those gaps and land on a much, much worse price. Okay, let's make this real. Let's say you're making a big leverage trade, and the total position size is $100,000. But here's the problem. The market is thin. At the price you want, there are only enough sellers to cover $50,000 of your order. So what happens? The exchange has to find the other $50,000 worth of sellers, but they're all waiting at way higher prices. The result is massive slippage. Your trade gets filled at a terrible average price, and you are immediately in a major losing position. You've been sabotaged from the very first second.
Okay, so after hearing all of that, you're probably thinking, how on earth do these markets function at all? Well, they actually have some clever built-in systems designed to keep that tightrope from getting too wobbly.
And one of the most important ones is called the funding rate. Basically, it's a system where traders pay small fees to each other to help keep things balanced. You can think of it like the balancing pole that a tightrope walker uses to keep from leaning too far to one side. So here's how it works. If almost everybody is betting the price is going to go up, if they're all long, the market gets unbalanced. So to fix this, those long traders have to pay a small, regular fee to the short traders who are betting the other way. This makes it more attractive for people to take the less popular side of the trade, which adds balance and, importantly, liquidity back to the market. It's pretty clever.
So there you have it. We've gone from leverage to liquidity, from liquidation falls to the silent trap of slippage. These aren't just buzzwords. They are the laws of physics on the crypto tightrope. Knowing them doesn't mean you won't fall, but walking out there without knowing them almost guarantees it. So the only question left to ask, are you really prepared for that walk?